How's it going, everybody? Thanks for watching another video. Now, last month I posted a quick video featuring this MAK90 spiker conversion done by M13 Industries out here in Las Vegas, and I got so many questions and comments requesting to get this on the table so we could have a closer look that I figured let's do it so we can just admire what an awesome job that they did getting this to look like probably what it did before it had to be converted into a sporter conversion. But if you guys have any questions about this conversion, go check them out. M13 Industries out here in Las Vegas. Let's have a closer look. Alright, before having a look at the rifle, some people might be like, well, what's the big deal about the MAK90? Why did it have to be converted into what it looks like now? Maybe what did it look like before? Let's start from the very beginning. First of all, you can't get MAK90s anymore. They were imported during the assault weapons ban, I think from the years 1990 to 1994. And the only way China could get them in was to sporterize them, to have them categorized as a sporting rifle. And it ended up looking like this. Alright, I know you can't see it in this picture, but the threaded barrel is gone, so you can't put a muzzle device on it. They shaved off the bayonet lug, so you can't install a bayonet. Further toward the rear, you see the absence of a normal AK grip and buttstock for the replacement of a thumbhole stock on there. And they shipped with 3 5-round magazines instead of 30-round magazines, and they sold for just $189. Alright, the MAK90s are made in 2 companies in China, Polytech and Norinco. The one we're going to look at is a Norinco, although the Polytech one seemed to be worth more money. If you can get your hands on one, get them because they're both super high quality. And it is my strong belief, guys, that if people back in the 90s knew as much as we know now about AK-47s, because people now are way more educated, it would have sold for way more than $189. People back in the 90s were probably like, hey, what is this cheap Chinese AK-47? This must be rubbish. But when you actually look at what's in the box, guys, it's a blued receiver, blued barrel. The receiver is thicker. It's 1.5 millimeters versus the standard 1 millimeter. And you pick up a heavy chrome line barrel. Say what? And that's right, guys. Nobody bought these golden pieces of AK-47 history just sitting there for $189. And now in today's economy, it's worth anywhere between $750 and $1,000 depending on its condition and who you're buying it from. So that's why the conversion is so interesting, because you can't just drop $200 and pay somebody to do the conversion. You need to drop that $750 to $1,000 to buy the rifle and then pay somebody to convert it. And it ain't cheap. Alright, so this is the front end of the MAK90, and this is where a majority of the money is going to go to restore this to what it's supposed to look like. Again, you got to remove the old block because the old one doesn't have the bayonet lugs. They got cut off right here. So the set that's on here now costs between, I'd say, $250 to $300. It's going to come with the block and the bayonet. You're going to notice that the finish is different on the block, but the bluing here on the actual bayonet is the same as the bluing on the barrel and the gas block. Okay, just a quick reminder, when you're buying your blocks, make sure that there is a hole pre-drilled for your muzzle device retention pin, because if there's not one in there, you have to pay to put one in there. And if just so happens they mess it up, well, that causes a whole bunch of other problems. So just make sure that there's a hole already in there. Now, the next step after they install the block and they make sure that it's all straight is to thread your barrel in here. So that can cost anywhere between $150 to $200 depending on where you're at. And remember, you still have to pay for the actual muzzle device. So something like this or a slant brake can cost $10 all the way up to something more fancy that can be up to $100. So you got $250 to $300 for the actual hardware up here. Then you got to thread the barrel, that's anywhere between $150 to $200, and then your muzzle device, it can cost anywhere between $10 and $100. Aye. Alright, I just wanted to show you guys a closer look at the bluing on the barrel here and at the gas block area right down through the barrel here. Look at that bayonet, man. That looks so slick in there. I'm going to show you a closer shot of this handguard because it's actually cut for this bayonet. And look at that wood. Damn. And just in case you're wondering, there is the Made in China. This was imported by a company called Sports Arms out of Miami, Florida. The receiver is blued, and if you're wondering what the Norinco logo looks like, it's right here. Alright, and just to show you how slick the bluing is, check out the dust cover. It's completely smooth. There's no ribs on there. All the way from the top down here, all the way to the bottom of the receiver. So smooth. Alright, your last big expense is going to be replacing that thumbhole stock with some sick furniture that looks like this. Now, depending on what receiver you get, this is a straight one, there's a slant one out there. it can be more challenging, but you can expect to spend anywhere between $350 to $400 on furniture just like this. Now this one does have a groove cut in the handguard for the spike bayonet to fit in there, and M13 Industries did a really good job making sure that there is no bayonet sag in there. Check that out. And they also made sure that this thing snaps in and fits just like a glove. Check that out. So sick. So your last big expense is going to be for your furniture. Alright, and the last thing I want to mention is something so simple and you figured it'd be the least expensive to install, and that is a cleaning rod. If you look on here, there is no cleaning rod, because if you look right in this area, there is limited space to slip a cleaning rod through here because the gas block doesn't have the retention clip. So you kind of got to make a decision if you want to keep this all Chinese, or if you want to get a different country's gas block with their retention clip to fit in there, because I don't think you can find a Chinese one anymore. Those would be super rare. So you figure that's another, what, $250, and then you have it installed. So there's a decision to make there if you want to keep it all Chinese or pay the extra money to put a foreign gas block on this AK. Now, when you add all of that up, you're going to pay anywhere between $1,500 to $2,000. And I know you're going to have to decide yourself if it's worth buying an older AK-47 or if you want to get something more modern. But I'm just going to leave you with this. With today's climate for gun control, it might be worth picking up something that's a collectible like this, because it could double or even triple in price before all is said and done. But guys, that's the ending of the video. Hope you found it useful. If you liked it, please give it the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to Chemo365, please do. And remember, I'll catch you guys later.